Alright, this lesson is on drawing quadrilaterals. Everything you draw is going to be a quadrilateral, that is a four-sided figure. And yesterday's lesson was on quadrilaterals. I included a video on that. And here's all your classifications of quadrilaterals. So having a good understanding of how to make each of these shapes will help you in drawing the shapes, if you know all the rules for the shapes. Take a look at this one. Draw a quadrilateral that is neither a rectangle nor a trapezoid. Rectangle will have two pairs of parallel sides. The opposite sides will be parallel. It has four right angles, so it can't have that. And it can't be a trapezoid where two sides are parallel and the other two sides are slanted. They're not, the two other sides are not parallel. So the shapes that fit that description would be a rhombus. You can make a crooked square, or a parallelogram that has no right angles, no right angles, no right angles, no right angles, like a rectangle. And it's not like a trapezoid where two sides are parallel and two sides are not. Alright, so those two fit that description. Draw a quadrilateral that has exactly one pair of parallel sides. So that would be your trapezoid. Has a pair of parallel sides, one pair of parallel sides, and then the other sides are not parallel. So they're parallel, they can keep going on and not touching. And then these, if they keep going on and on, they will touch. So these two sides are not parallel, these two sides are parallel. These say explain your answers, which I just did. Draw a quadrilateral to match each description. A quadrilateral that is neither a rhombus nor a rectangle. So it's not going to be that crooked square, and it's not going to have four right angles. So once again, your trapezoid can fit that description. You can do a trapezoid, like the trapezoid table we have in the classroom. Also a trapezoid can have, see, that's parallel, that's parallel. Not parallel, not parallel. So these two sides are parallel, the other two sides are not parallel. So that's another example of a trapezoid. That could be a trapezoid, that could be a trapezoid. Alright, let's take a look at this one over here. A quadrilateral that is neither a parallelogram nor a trapezoid. So parallelogram means the two opposite sides has two pairs of parallel lines. So parallelogram would be a rhombus, that's a type parallelogram. Rectangle, that's a type parallelogram. Square, that's a type parallelogram. And it also can't be a trapezoid. So pretty much everything you learned in the last lesson, that's a parallelogram, parallelogram, that's a parallelogram, that's a parallelogram, that's a trapezoid. So it's like pretty much everything you learned in the last lesson, you can't use any of that. So you have to do your own imaginative four-sided figure that doesn't fit any of the rules of what you learned before. So I am going to draw something that doesn't have right angles, something that's not, doesn't have parallel sides. Alright, some type of weird figure like that. Alright, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and it doesn't fit any of the rules from the last lesson, any of the rules of parallelograms. And not a trapezoid. Alright, matching. This will be more like what you'll see on the test, because I'm not going to have you draw stuff on an online test. If you were in the classroom and had paper, then there was questions where you had to draw shapes out like this lesson, but it'll be more of like a matching on the online test. A parallelogram that is neither a rectangle nor a rhombus. So keyword there is that it is a parallelogram. All the sides are parallel, but it's not the one that's a rectangle, and it's not the one that's a rhombus. So There's your good description of what a parallelogram is. Keyword there was parallelogram. This one's a quadrilateral with one right angle and no parallel or equal sides. So if you look at this one, that's a right angle where it goes straight like that. That's a right angle. That one has two right angles. This one just has one right angle. So with one right angle, and it has no parallel or equal sides. These aren't parallel and the sides aren't equal, so all the sides are different lengths and none of the sides are parallel. So that goes with that one. This is a quadrilateral with exactly two right angles. There's a right angle, there's a right angle, so that one, there we go. Alright, that one goes to that one. Two right angles. And we'll try some problem solving. A chalk drawing on the blacktop is a quadrilateral with exactly one right angle. Draw the figures. So this will kind of look like what was in the matching. You have a question like this in your workbook. Gives you a description of that. So it only has one right angle. You can still make a quadrilateral out of that. So there's my... Alright, there's my right angle. Kind of makes like an L shape. So everything else can't be a right angle. Everything else is going to be at a different angle than a right angle. So you can make this one going up like that. And then we'll make that one going down like that. Alright, so not a right angle, not a right angle, not a right angle. Only has one right angle. Quad means four, has four sides. Quadrilateral. That's the figure I made for that one. If it fits the rules, then I would mark it right. A quadrilateral has two opposite sides that are the same length. Of the two remaining sides, one is longer than the other. Draw the figure. Alright, so it sounds like they're talking about trapezoid there. Trapezoid has one long side, and it has one short side, and the other sides are not... It has two equal sides, and it has one longer than the other. Long side, short side, and these two sides are equal to each other. So that's a good example. This fits this description of a good trapezoid there. Alright, that's drawing quadrilaterals.